Okay, so we're going to talk about long division because we cannot use synthetic division with this. The reason we can't use synthetic division is because of this constant in front of the x. You can do it with fractions, but we're going to go ahead and do this by long division. Now, one of the things to know with this numerator, this goes as 8x to the fourth. It skips. There's a missing term here. There is a missing 0x to the third. So when I'm setting this up with long division, it's going to be 2x plus 1, and I'm going to go ahead and make a placeholder for myself as 8x to the fourth plus 0x to the third minus 6x squared minus 8x minus 15. Now, if for any reason you were doing synthetic division, you would still need this 0 as a placeholder. Okay, so let's go ahead and start talking about long division. The first thing to remember with long division, your entire goal is to make these first two terms here exactly the same. And we do that by asking ourselves, all right, what number can I put up front that when I multiply it times 2x plus 1, this first term will also equal 8x to the fourth. Mathematically, what we're saying is I take my 8x to the fourth, I divide it by 2x. I know that is equal to 4x to the third, or you might have been able to answer that question automatically and say, okay, I know that if I take 4x to the third and multiply it times my divisor, I will get 8x to the fourth plus 4x to the third. You do, when you multiply whatever you have in your quotient, you must multiply times both parts of your divisor. So 4x to the third times 2x squared is 8x to the fourth. 4x to the third times 1 is 4x to the third. Now, with division, we always end up subtracting. Subtracting means I change the signs. So this becomes negative, and this 4 becomes a negative 4x to the third. I recommend always circling your signs to make sure you understand, you remember you've changed them. So that now means I have negative 4x to the third. I take my negative 6x squared and bring that down. And now I start the process all over again. I'm again asking myself, 2x times what will equal 4x to the third? And the answer to that question will go up in your quotient. Mathematically, what I'm saying is that's minus 4x to the third. I divide it by 2x, and that is negative 2x squared. So that is what goes in your quotient. So let's go ahead and take all of that. That's negative 2x. We're going to take that whole thing and multiply it times both pieces over here. When I do that, it will go ahead and leave me with negative 4x to the third minus 2x squared. Again, I want to change those signs. This becomes a positive. So does this. Then the first terms will always cancel out. That must happen for you to be doing long division correctly. Then you go through and it's negative 6x squared plus 2x squared, which leaves us with a negative 4x squared. I take the 8x and bring that down. I repeat the process. So again, I'm asking myself, 2x times what will equal a negative 4x squared? The math portion of that is I'm dividing negative 4x squared by 2x, which is negative 2x. Then I'm taking that negative 2x and multiplying it times both pieces in my quotient. So again, that's that 2x, negative 2x, times 2x will give me a negative 4x squared. Then I have negative 2x times 1, which is just a negative 2x. Change my signs. This becomes positive. This also becomes positive. The 4x squareds cancel out. I'm left with a negative 6x. I bring down my last term, which is a negative 15. And the last thing I have to ask myself is 2x times what will equal a negative 6. So that's a negative 6 divided by 2x, which tells me it's just a negative 3. Put a negative 3 up top. Now I take that negative 3. Again, process is the same. Multiply it times both pieces here. Negative 3 times my 2x is equal to 6x, negative 6x, excuse me, and then a negative 3. I change my signs. That becomes a positive. This becomes a positive. The 6x's cancel out. And I am left with a remainder of negative 12. So all of this is just equal to 4x to the third minus 2x squared minus 2x minus 3. But do not forget about that remainder. That remainder is negative 12 over your original divisor, which is 2x plus 1.